Okay, we're live. Crypto Stylist. How are you doing today?
Hi, good morning to you. Good evening to people on my side of the world. How are you,
Yeah.
Banana?
I'm doing good. Optimistic that things are going to turn around. We we were just talking about, and this is relevant. So you landed on this video because you got a mail piece and you're curious what PulseChain is and who Richard Hart is. And we're going to talk about all of that. But I kind of wanted to just circle back to our conversation a couple minutes ago where we're talking about, how the liquidity is going to flow. And what I was saying that is impactful for anybody watching is that the stock market right now is at an all-time high. When it tops out, that liquidity is going to flow, that money is going to flow into Bitcoin. When it tops out, that money flows into Ethereum, and then it flows into the altcoins, which Pulse Chain and everything on Pulse Chain are altcoins. So there's a little bit of red in the market right now in the crypto market, but in my opinion, that is going to change in a matter of time. We have to wait for the stock market, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and we're all kind of move up together, but they all top out at different times. Does that make sense, Stylist?
It totally makes sense. And from what I'm hearing on my side from the content that I'm listening to, there was a video I know that you dropped in the Pulse Chain in your Prairie Banana chat for the Pulse Chain Help Desk, which is a really great Telegram chat to join for those of you who are new to Pulse Chain. And if you're not even new to Pulse Chain, it's just a great chat. It really handles all levels, but feel it's really safe for people who don't even really know much about crypto and want to learn safely how to get into Pulse Chain and Bridge and the whole, which we will also discuss more in detail later. But what I'm hearing is that you talk about there's there's a lot of focus right now on this cycle about stable coins. So right now the market cap for stable coins is around 700 billion, but that by 2029 that supply will go up to 5 to 10 trillion. So that's a really big increase just with the stable coins. So and then there's also talk. Kathy Woods is saying that Bitcoin will hit 2.5 million. You're regularly hearing that Bitcoin's going to hit a million. It's just currently just above 100,000, 117,000. I haven't looked at the price today, and so needless to say that everybody, there's no indicators that we have to worry, and that this is how the market is playing out as it should be playing out. Of course, nobody has a crystal ball. We can't guarantee, but there's nothing that's shocking anyone. So don't look at the price. If you just look at the price, then you need to zoom out and look at the whole cycle and what's happening. There's a lot of talk about cup
Right.
and handle movement for the altcoin. So the altcoins right now are doing the big cup and handle. So it's like prepping for a big run.
Right. I like what DJ Khaled said. He says, don't look at the price, look at the value. And in my opinion, Pulse Chain is very valuable, and the market just hasn't discovered it yet. Everybody
Mhm.
over here has. We're excited about Pulse Chain and the assets that are on it, but and that's because we understand the value, and we
Mhm.
also understand the man behind the chain, Richard Hart, which is the gentleman that is mailing out these digital devices, these sketch etch a sketch pads, and to try to get people's attention to bring them over to this chain.
And the response has been overwhelming. Did you see, Banana, the gentleman? Is it David Haynes? David Haynes on Instagram is a comedian, and he received uh, the the pad from Richard Hart, and then the engagement that he got, I think it was over 200,000 views, and people just reposting and reposting and reposting. He sold two of the tablets for $150 each. And the
Yeah.
last time I looked on eBay, that there was a tablet going for $2,050, which is a 2049x.
Hmm.
It's crazy. So that's any indication of how crazy and how sticky and how powerful our community is. That is truly, I was shocked.
Yeah. So
Wait,
I
I'm gonna
did.
look
I did
because
see that.
the engagement.
Mhm. So Richard Hart's vision is to give everyday people a chance to become millionaires by being early to his chain. And honestly, this mailing campaign just started a couple weeks ago, and it's probably going to extend through this winter. So everybody watching this right now, you are early. So A, you have time to get in early. B, you probably have time to do your homework and just study what PulseChain is, who Richard Hart is, and then you can think and figure out, what your strategy is for getting onto PulseChain if that's what you want to do. Because PulseChain is literally at or near its price floor, and it's going into its first altcoin season. And you know what happens with layer ones that are going into their first that are in their first cycle? They tend to go bananas. But here's a look at Richard Hart. If you're not familiar with him, you can follow him on X. There he is. And I want to show you real quick. I'll make sure this is my next slide. Yes, I want to show you what an L1 can do going into, in its first cycle, a layer one. Ethereum did 14,000x, Binance 7,000x. And then, what's PulseChain going to do? You got to take an average of all those. And then you maybe what you would do to be conservative is multiply it by 0.9. And then that could get you the number of X's potentially. And it's all speculation. Nobody knows what PulseChain is going to do this cycle. But we do know from the behavior of the founder, him sending out mail pieces, he is intent on his chain becoming successful. That's crystal clear to me. And he doesn't need to send mail pieces out for his chain to be successful. Sorry, I got an open window because it's hot in here. So I should just take my sweater off, right? He has the capital to pump the chain on his own if he wants to. But I think he doesn't want to spend the capital. I think he wants to make an impact with mail pieces.
I think he wants to really do marketing because that's his background, because he had his own businesses. I think you touched on it earlier. And so he has very well versed in how to grab attention and to make it stick. And so these tablets are one of the number one bestsellers on Amazon. And they're the kind of item that you keep and you reuse and use and reuse. And so you'll have it for a long time. And the logo and all the information about Pulse and Hex is on the tablet. So it'll constantly be in millions of people's faces, literally on it multiple times a day. So, so that's really, I think, a very shrewd strategy. And, I've had the pleasure of meeting Richard and spending time with him. And I can say that he's highly intelligent. He has great integrity. He's really fun. He's hilarious. He's a really fun person too. Yeah. But he's also very serious about his vision for revolutionizing the financial system, the importance of cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency was invented for, and how it is to be used. And, that's why he invented Hex. And then he built PulseChain, so Fort Ethereum and created his own network, PulseChain. And then because he wanted to create a whole world and a whole ecosystem of all his own products that run in a way that he feels that crypto should be run. It should be trustless, no middlemen, not your keys, not your coins. And so the no what does he call it? Third-party risk. So no counterparty risk is actually what he calls it. I call it third-party risk. So there's nobody that's in between telling you can't take your money out. Like, for example, I live in a foreign country where I am capped to a very small amount of money that I'm allowed to wire from this country to America just to pay my bills. And it's literally, they treat me like a criminal every time I try to send money. And it's so frustrating. And it's really not, I just feel like it's a violation of my fundamental rights as a human being. Exact.
Wow. That is interesting. So why crypto? Well, there's a problem. As Stylus just stated, trying to send fiat currency to another country can be a hassle. But with crypto, like, I can literally send Stylus crypto right now with my wallet. I can send it straight to her with no middle person, nobody in between. And that's one of the benefits of crypto, is that it eliminates middlemen. It eliminates banks. It's quick. It runs 24/7. And it doesn't, if you're in the right assets, the supply of the crypto doesn't even increase. It can decrease. PulseChain is a deflationary asset. PTDC, UFO, all three of those are deflationary assets. And that just means the supply decreases. And when you have a decreasing supply, that means the value tends to increase.
There's a question in the chat. Rub Soar is asking, when will new money come in? Just wondering. And Rob, I think that Banana touched on this earlier when he was saying that first you have the stock market, so the money goes into the stock market, and when that tops, then you see money going into Bitcoin, that tops, then Ethereum, and then altcoins. So in terms of where we are, and for the altcoins, if that's what you're referring to, when will it come in? It's really imminent right now. So Ethereum just hit a new all-time high. I think is still running. I think it might have a ways to go, but we're prime in the cycle. Also, another indicator up is to look at the fear and greed index and where we are in the fear and greed index. And that will give you an indication as to when the money will start flowing in. That number has to be higher for the money to start flowing in as well. There will also be money flowing in from institutions and for ETFs. So just keep an ear out for when ETFs are approved, because a lot of money flows into the system when that happens as well.
Right. So what is PulseChain? It's a fork of Ethereum. It's a legal thing. Okay. A fork it's legal to do. It's an exact duplicate copy of the entire chain Ethereum. And Ethereum, by the way, is the second, correct me if I'm wrong, Stylist, but like Ethereum, you got Bitcoin as the biggest crypto, and then Ethereum, and then you have all the other altcoins. So Richard Hart was running Hex on Ethereum. It became very expensive to transact, so he copied the entire network. It was a massive undertaking, but he got it done. And if you had perhaps had assets over on Ethereum prior to like May 13th, 2023, right? You have copies over on PulseChain. So it was a system state copy. Okay.
It was the world's largest airdrop, the biggest airdrop in the history of mankind, at least at that time. There could have been a bigger one since then, but I don't think so. So every ERC20 on Ethereum has a copy on PulseChain.
Yep, that's a fact. And PulseChain it's faster, it's cheaper, and it's greener. And I can test. I'm telling you, I was doing some transactions on Ethereum yesterday. You know, I was paying like $1.90, and I was kind of whining. I was like, "What? $1.90 for this transaction?" And I come over to PulseChain, and I don't know what it was, but it was way less than $1.90. It was like maybe 2 cents, maybe half a cent. I don't remember.
No, it's fractions of a penny. It's fractions of a penny, and right now it's not. We haven't really hit the bull market yet, and there were points in the last bull market where I was paying $300-500 just to switch from Ethereum, just to trade, just to do a transaction, a swap. And to end a stake, people were spending more than the value of their stake. So when it gets really heats up, then it becomes unusable. $1.90 sucks, and that's high, but we're talking like when the height of the bull run, it was hundreds of dollars just to buy some Ethereum or just to switch into USDC. To send cost over $100.
Yeah,
it was out of control.
Yeah, and that's because the network, when you're in crypto, you pay to use a network. So you pay your gas to use a secure network. When the network becomes congested, it gets more expensive as the congestion increases. So let's talk about let's talk about PulseChain, because the website pulsechain.com, because that's where
let's pull it up.
That's where the marketing piece is driving people to go. And in my opinion, that's a tremendous resource for everybody to visit, because practically everything that you need is on pulsechain.com. Hex.com. I haven't even been to hex.com in quite a while, but if you're interested in getting it onto PulseChain, getting assets in, on the PulseChain network, pulsechain.com is where you need to go. So here it is, pulsechain.com, and you can scroll down past this. You need to set up a wallet. You need to have either a Rabby wallet or an internet money wallet, which you will install onto your computer. And then So, and this will help you with that. You click the setup wallet button. You can prepare your, see, there's that internet money wallet. You can do MetaMask. That's kind of old school. I think, Stylus, you would recommend the internet money
I like
wallet.
internet money because it is built for PulseChain. It's also just a really fantastic wallet. So I think it's really user friendly for people who have been doing it for a while, and for people who are new to the system. And the founder is a really, really good person and very smart. KG.
Yeah, true. If you start with the internet money wallet, you don't have to input the RPC settings like you would with the Ratty.
You can actually bridge directly from, you could buy on Coinbase, send it to yourself, Ethereum to yourself, or USDC to yourself. Well, probably you would want to do Ethereum so you have gas money. And then you could transfer that Ethereum from Ethereum, you can bridge within the wallet. You don't have to leave the wallet. I'm pretty sure you can do that within internet money. He has that capability. So
Okay.
that's a really great use case. But in the event that you need to do larger, I'm not sure what the cap of money of that is. There might not even be a cap, but what a lot of people are using right now are Liberty Swap Finance. So there's a video that's, I think, that we might go through later that goes in detail on how to use Liberty Swap. But there was just a post today on X, which stated that they're about to up the transaction limit to $25,000. Which is amazing, and then unlimited times a day. So they're constantly upping the limit. And the reason why that they're doing it in increments is because it's a relatively new protocol, and they just want to test it at smaller amounts so that there's lower risk. But it's been working really beautifully so far, and has fantastic feedback from the community.
Yes. Okay. We used a lot of terms, and I want to circle back to the Coinbase, because that's where a lot of people are going to start. They're either going to, so the idea is you to get onto PulseChain means I own Pulse. I have Pulse PLS, the PLS token in my wallet. Then you're on PulseChain. But how do I get PLS? Most people are going to start with, or some people are going to start with a Coinbase or a Kraken account. And those are what are called centralized exchanges. It's almost like getting a bank account. You're going to give them your driver's license, social security number, all that stuff. You're going to get the KYC on Coinbase. You get a Coinbase account, and with Coinbase, you can wire money from your bank to Coinbase. I bet you can probably buy Ethereum with a debit card on Coinbase. Okay. And then once you have Ethereum in your Coinbase account, you can send it to your internet money wallet, which is on your computer. Once you have Ethereum on your internet money wallet on your computer, then you can with your internet money wallet, correct me if I'm wrong, you can swap it for PLS. Is that how it works on an internet money wallet?
Yes, I haven't done it, so I don't want to be, I'm not sure if it has to be, some protocols require you to go from USDC to PLS, but I think you can go from Ethereum to PLS, but nevertheless, you can go from the Ethereum network to the PulseChain network directly within the wallet. Okay. And yeah, so that's like a really great use case for the wallet, because you never have to leave.
So basically what you're doing is you're swapping from one asset to another, and you got to figure out how to do that. And because it's money, it has to be a lockdown tight system. And so that's why it can be challenging at times. But you got your Ethereum on your internet money wallet, and then you got to figure out how to get it into Pulse. And hopefully you can just do it on the internet money wallet. But there are other ways.
You can use a bridge, but this is why I don't love just talking like this kind of freestyle about it, because we're skipping a lot of steps, and there's so many little nuances. There's videos, and we went through one of the videos in last week's stream. We don't have to go through it, but at least you can if you want, Banana. But it's more a matter of, if you're gonna if you want to have a tutorial on how to bridge over or how to buy PulseChain, it's really important, I think, to watch one of these videos where it's step by step by step. And the one that we love is with Crypto with Colin. He did a fantastic video on how to buy on, he doesn't tell you how to buy on Coinbase, because that's pretty straightforward, but how to go from Coinbase to the internet money wallet via the Liberty Swap finance via a bridge. And he shows you how to do that in like step by step. And it's really, really well done.
It's perfect. I cut that video up yesterday and I shortened it, put a link in the chat.
Oh, wonderful.
And then also, guys, if you want to jump in, like Stylus referred to my Telegram group, jump into my Telegram group. There's a link also in the chat, and you can come in there and ask any questions. So you're on PulseChain.com. Let's go back to that, because there are ways on PulseChain.com that you can buy PLS also. Let me hide this real quick. Click on buy PLS today. Let's see where that brings us. That brings us to OX Coast. That's not what I was expecting.
But OX Coast is great because it takes you, you don't have to deal with a bridge. It takes you directly. You can buy Pulse on there. It'll take you, it goes directly to PulseChain. So you don't have to worry about buying Ethereum and then bridging it over. And it's really quite simple. And it's very straightforward. I really love OX Coast. I've used it many times and I've had no issues. And so, and it's really self-explanatory. Like it's really, you can actually go on the site and figure it out. So yeah. It's great. And it has a lot of great feedback from the community. So it's one you can trust.
Yes. So here's OX Coast right here on PulseChain.com actually. And there's another place you can go, which is Ramp Now. You can buy crypto with a debit card. You can buy PulseChain PLS with a debit card right here.
Banana, isn't that not available in the States though? It's for Europe, UK. And so for the rest of the world, it's really easy. And the limit is what, 3,500 euros you can buy, but it's a really good way to kind of enter into PulseChain just directly.
Yes. Yep. So, and like you can look at all these different currencies that you can swap from into PLS. That's amazing. So that's a resource for you guys, rampnow.com. And then here's a bridge. You can also bridge over to PulseChain. And then once you have PLS in your wallet, then you can swap into any assets that you want. And you can use, where does this bring us to? This would bring us to PulseX. And then you can swap from your Pulse to any assets on PulseChain. But if you got Pulse in your wallet, then you've got the main asset. You have the gas token of the chain, and you can simply hold that token, or you can rotate into other tokens on the chain. And there's one that Stylus and I are a huge fan of, and that's PTDC and UFO. And that's one of the reasons that we're doing these presentations, is to try to get you onto PulseChain and into PTDC and UFO. I do recommend doing your homework. There's a lot of resources on my channel that you can review. But why do we want people to hold PTDC and UFO? It's because they're an index of the best assets on the chain. Richard has 4 core assets: Pulse, PulseX, which is the DEX, the decentralized exchange, Hex, and Inc. PTGC and UFO are an index of all of those tokens. They're paired with them. They're bonded with them. So when those assets go up in value, they're going to drag PTDC and UFO up in value. And that has been proven, and they've proven that to be successful in that for like almost 2 years PTDC, and then 18 months for UFO. They have a strong history of price performance, even against PLS and against Hex, PulseX, and Inc. They've outperformed those. So it's almost like you come over to PLS, get a position in PTDC and UFO, and then if you want to go play around with other assets, then you can. But yeah, if I was knowing what I know, if I was coming over to PulseChain, I'd get the PTDC and some UFO, and then just sit tight and study the network, get involved in the community maybe, and figure out what it's all about. Maybe some other assets you want to play around with, but I would start there.
It's a good way because it's a leverage. It's basically like buying the index. So it's like a index fund, right, for the course.
Yes.
So, but I do really very much believe that Pulse Chain is going to blow people's minds. So Pulse, so PLS, the native token, it's never a bad investment to have PLS, PLSX, Inc., and Hex. RH is Richard Hart's core assets. But if you are confused or can't decide on which one, it's a very sometimes a difficult choice, or you just have like a smaller sum of money, you don't want to spread it across 4 things, PTGC and UFO are perfect.
Yes. Agreed. So I would like to talk a little bit about security. Crypto it is risky. Okay. It's like we're in the wild, wild west of crypto. And by the way, you're thinking it's difficult to get over to PulseChain. I agree. And that's where the gains are. Once an exchange like Coinbase lists PLS and people can buy PLS from Coinbase right now, the price is already going to be, you know what I mean? So if you're willing to gut it out to get over to the chain, that's where the opportunity is in the struggle to get here. But crypto can be a little bit risky. You really got to pay attention when you're transacting, and you got to be careful of scammers. Never give away your seed phrase, which is the 12 or 24 word password, if you will, for your wallet. You never, ever give that away, and store it safely.
Never store it online. Don't store it in the cloud. Don't store it in your phone and your notes. Never text it to anyone, because then it's in the cloud and someone can steal it. So you have to just put it physically on a piece of paper. There are people who put it on metal plates so that they're fire and, rainproof, waterproof, and put it in these kind of crazy safes. There's different levels of security, but you want to really take care of it, because self-custody is really wonderful, because you are the one holding it. There's no middleman, but at the same time, you're also the one who's solely responsible. So there's a lot of horrible stories about people losing their crypto, but it's not the norm. And just really important. I think maybe next time we can put in the link some good security videos. Papa Boner is a really good source. I'm going to find a video and put a link in. So for those of you who are new to crypto, please check out Papa Boner, because he is an expert on security, and there's a lot of really great tips, and it's very, very important. It's like you don't want to get on a motorcycle without a helmet. If you're going to go in crypto, you really need to educate yourself.
Yes. And my buddy DJ Khaled is making his security course available to you guys.
Oh, okay.
It's about 90 minutes. Everything about it is in the description of this video. You go to the site and you type in the code and you get it for free. It's normally costs $25, but the deal is I point you to his YouTube, which is in the description. So go sub to his YouTube, follow him on X. He's a good content creator for PulseChain, and he's offering this security course for free. So go check that out. So PulseChain is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You're early. You can start small. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just jump into my chat on Telegram. The link is right there in the description. And let's see what else. Use pulsechain.com. There's lots of resources there. And I think that's about a wrap. Are you finding a Papa Boner?
I am. I'm finding it, and I'm going to put it up.
Yeah, he's great. Stylus actually and I streamed with Papa Boner about 9 months ago, and he is a security expert. And you'll learn a lot from him.
Yeah, I just dropped it in. It's his YouTube video. And then,
there we
go. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Are there any final thoughts?
I think that, we're touching on a lot of subjects here. Pretty much anything that we're talking about, there will be a YouTube video by somebody in our community. Yeah. So please feel free to reach out on X. I'm at Crypto Stylus on X. Prairie, you're at the Prairie Banana, and just just reach out to us directly on X, like publicly, and then I'll follow you, and then we can DM each other, and then I can refer you to some videos to help you with
Mhm.
any questions that you might have, because there's just so many. We can't touch on everything, but security, how to get Pulse Chain, why crypto, inflation, where we are in the cycle, who is Richard Hart, this marketing campaign. That's what we touched on all those things, but there's a lot more to each subject. So please feel free to reach out to either of us, and we would be more
Mhm.
than happy to help. Or go into the Prairie Bananas chat, right? Your help
Yes.
desk chat. And that link is also in the description. And people are so helpful in that chat. It's such a great chat. So there's a lot of
Yay.
all levels, but there's experienced people there as well who can really guide you. And it's a very safe space. No question. There's no dumb questions.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how we're going to keep it.
Mm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a wrap. Yeah, you
Okay.
can reach out to me. You can direct message either of us. We're giving you permission.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right.
Thank
Thanks so
you. Bye.
much.
Good night. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.